Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining this morning. We shall make a start and sing Radha Madhav first of all. So, Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvardhari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvardhari, Yashodanandana Rajya Jana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Rajya Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Tirvanchari, Jayo Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Om Gyan Timiradhasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmilitam Niyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah, Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthaptam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Krishna Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivachakhan Vitanscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastate Jakalpatubhyascha Kripa Sindhubevacha Patitana Pavneyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasti Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Kroti Vachalam Bhangum Langyate Garim Yat Kirpatam Hamande Shri Guru Dilkaranam Brahmananda Madhvam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tassat Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naruttamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jem Uduriyat Nashta Pareshab Abdreshu Nityam Bhagavata-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Nestiki. Hare Krishna. So now we are on our Shloka 3 this week. And this 23 shlokas in this first chapter. So you can imagine there's 19 chapters in Canto 1, and we will probably complete the first chapter by end of next week. So there you go. So Bhagavatam is vast. It's expanded from Bhagavad Gita. It's come a long way. So there's so much to learn. That's how we're going to see it. There's so much to learn from Bhagavatam. So this shloka, verse 3. Nigam kalpataro galitam palam shuka mukhad amrita drav samyutam Pibat Bhagavatam Rasam Alayam Muhur Aho Rasika Bhubi Bhavuka. So, Nigam, the Vedic literatures, Kalpataraho, the desire tree, Galitam, fully matured, Phalam is a fruit, Shuka, that's Shukadev Goswami, Srila Shukadev Goswami, the original speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mukhat, from the lips of Amrita, nectar, Drav, semi-solid and soft and therefore easily swallowable, Samyutam, perfect in all respects, Pibat, do relish it, Bhagavatam, the book dealing in the science of the eternal relationship with the Lord, Rasam, juice, that which is relishable, Alyam, until liberation or even the liberation condition, Muhu, always, Aho, O Rasikha, those who are in full knowledge of the mellows, Bhuvi, on the earth, Bhavukaha, expert and thoughtful. O expert and thoughtful man, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. So it was already very nectarian, but coming from Shukadev Goswami, it became even more nectarian. And just before we go to the purport, I just want to discuss this verse with you. So, first of all, what have we, the verse 1 and verse 2, what have we learned from there? So, verse 1, we talk about Janmadi Asya Yatha Atra. So the absolute truth, that is, which is the origin. So absolute truth is what is the origin, where everything begins, the cause, all causes, and then everything emanates from that truth. That's the absolute truth. Rest are relative truths. That is the difference. And the relative truth is everything included, not partial truth, absolute truth, which includes the Brahman, which includes the Paramatma, and it includes the Bhagwan, all truths. That's the absolute truth. And then in the second verse, we talk about Dharma Prajita Katva Atra, that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the cheating type of religion is rejected. So Srila Prabhupada explains that we are constitutionally servant. Therefore, either we shall serve the Supreme Personality Godhead or the absolute truth in this case, or if we don't like to serve the absolute, then we must serve our senses. So in other words, we have to serve. That's our constitutional position. Just like the position of the sugar is to be sweet. So our constitutional position is to serve, whether we like it or not. That is our position. We're serving. We can serve God, or we can serve ourselves, or we can serve the family, but serve, we must. This is the thing, that service is our nature. We have to serve. So this Dharma Prajita Katva Atra means a cheating type religion is completely rejected in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, if you think my duty is not to serve, then you're cheating yourself, basically, because that is what you do. You serve either yourself or God or somebody else, but you will always serve. Now, in this third verse, we talk about Nigam Kalpa Taro Galitam Phalam Idam. It says that this is Bhagavatam, and this is now we on the Prayojana part. Okay. So we done Sabandh, we done Abhidaya, and now we're talking about the Prayojana. What is the goal of our efforts after realizing our Sabandh with Krishna? So Srimad Bhagavatam is very useful for that, to respect. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Nigam Kalpatharo Galitam Phalam Idam, It is the mature fruit of Vedic knowledge. And then he says, Shuka Mukhad Amrita Drav Samyutam. Srimad Bhagavatam was written by Vyasadeva, and it was spoken by the first time by Shukadev Goswami, his son. So, Vyasadeva, he wrote this Srimad Bhagavatam under the instruction of his spiritual master, Narada Muni. Yeah. And then he taught his son. So he learned it, then he taught his son. And then Shukadev Goswami, he was told by his father that I write and you preach. It's a good team effort, father and son. You preach. That is the duty of the student, because he's his student, then he can go and preach it. So the spiritual master writes, and it's the duty of the disciple to preach. And if the student is also as pure as the spiritual master, then it becomes very nice. So Srila Prabhupada explains, Shuka Mukhad Amrita Drav Samyutam. So it becomes very relishable. So there's another explanation of this verse, is that any fruit ripened, because we say Bhagavatam is a ripened fruit, any ripened in the tree, it is already very nice, very sweet. If you take an unripe fruit from the tree and keep it at your home, it also ripens. So sometimes we bring bananas or pears, say, and they're not ripe. They're taken off the trees because they have to travel.
No going.
Everything grows in this country.
Okay.
So he has to travel a distance, and he may be in the warehouse for a while, be on the ship or plane, however it's arrived. Takes a while to arrive, and then it takes a while to distribute. Then it comes to our house. It's lying there in the supermarket for a few days as well. So it takes time to ripen, but it's not the same thing. What's ripened on the tree itself is most nectarian. So Srila says that if you take an unripe fruit from the tree and keep it at your home, it also ripens, but it is not so tasteful. If it is ripened in the tree and you take it, then it's very tasteful. So if you take it from the tree and when it's ready, then it's tasteful. I think you have got this experience, Prabhupada says. Again, if that fruit is cut by the lips or by the beaks of the parrot, which is called shuka, it becomes still more tasteful. So a ripened fruit on a tree, if it's just touched by the lips or the beak of the parrot, then it just makes it even more sweet. Just some kind of some action or something happens to that fruit and becomes very sweet. So Srimad Bhagavatam is already very tasteful because it is a ripened fruit. So when Vyasadeva gave us that fruit, it was fully ripened because he wrote it in its maturity. So he was ripened as well when he wrote it. So it's fully ripened. Srimad Bhagavatam is already very tasteful because it is ripened fruit, but it has been tasted by lips of Shukadev Goswami. Therefore, it is still more tasteful. Drava samyutam. Therefore, it is recommended in the verse, Pibat Bhagavatam. Now this ripened fruit, just taste it. Pibat means relish it or drink it. Just take it in. Pibat Bhagavatam rasam. This rasam, the soup or drink. When we eat something, we taste its rasa, the juice. Rasoham apsu kunteya. Just like Krishna says in Bhagavad-gita, Kunteya, my dear Arjuna, I'm the taste of the water. Everyone, when he's thirsty, he wants, give me water, because there is taste in the water. Some say there is no taste in the water, but there is taste in the water. We find out, we enjoy it more when you're really thirsty. Then you can taste it. Otherwise, you might not taste it. You just drink it because you think, you need to drink so many glasses a day or so many ounces a day. But yeah, when you're really thirsty, then you can really taste that it's like nectar going down your throat, right? So there's a taste in the water which will immediately quench your thirst. So enjoy everything because there is some taste that is called rasa. Anything we do. Just like And then Srila Prabhupada goes to explain about the rasa, because in this verse we talk about rasa. Just like a man, he's working very hard day and night. What for? For maintaining his family, his children and wife. So unless there is some rasa or ras, some taste, he cannot work so hard day and night. Why would you get up? It's freezing day like this, get up early in the morning, go to work, day after day, working hard, right? And you would only do it if you have some kind of inclination, if has some motivation to do it, because he loves his family, he loves his children, he wants to fend for them and earn for them and give them their necessities. So just like a man is working very hard day and night, but for maintaining his family, his children and wife. So unless there is some rasa, some taste, he cannot work so hard day and night. There is some flavor in maintaining the family with hard labor. And sometimes we see, therefore, one who has no family, one who has no family affection, he does not work so hard. He doesn't care to work, right? They can't be bothered. He says, what for? Why do you need to work hard? I have nobody to work hard for, you know? So they lose all sense of responsibility. Sometimes it's mentioned that they lose sense of responsibility. Therefore, in the Vedic civilization, the family life is recommended unless one will become confused, hopeless, because he has no taste for the family life. So everything there is some rasa, taste. Without that taste, nobody can live. Now here in the Bhagavatam, it says, Srimad Bhagavatam Rasam Alayam. Here is a taste which you can enjoy up to the end of your life or up to the point of liberation, because life is meant for getting liberated from this painful material existence. That is life. Everyone is trying to get out of the painful situation, that is struggle for existence, but they don't know what is the ultimate life free from all painful activities. We always think that, okay, got this life, we are suffering our karma, and at least, there's sometimes life is good as well. We feel some happiness. Maybe next, if we are good this life, maybe next life will be a little bit better. We'll get a better body, get a better mind, better life. We will be more wealthy, like that. We always we tend to be optimistic. At least some of us tend to be optimistic, but we don't know. We don't know. We might not even get a human body. We might get an animal's body. Nobody knows. And karma is a tricky thing. Doesn't mean that the karma you're suffering this life came from last life. It could have come from any life. It's like Dhritarashtra. He had 100 sons. That was his karma from many, many lives ago. He had to accumulate good karma to have children or have 100 sons. You need good karma to have 100 sons. So karma is very tricky. You don't know the permutation of it, how it works, and it can work in any way. So sometimes good karma can kick in life. Sometimes bad karma can kick in the life or in your next body. So we don't know. So we have to be very careful. So everyone is trying to get out of the painful situation, that is struggle for existence. But they don't know what is the ultimate life free from all painful activities. That is called liberation. So it's best to just get out of it. We can't keep gambling with our lives. You can't keep gambling with these bodies. What's next? Maybe I got a better hand. Maybe I got a better card next time. Like the gamblers, they always say playing pontoon or something. They think, yes, I will get a 21. Pick this card. And then, you can burst as well, right? So we don't know what card Krishna is going to deal for us. Nobody knows. In the same family, brothers, sisters, they can be dealt different cards. One can become a prime minister, another one, damaged at birth. We don't know what's going to happen. So the whole Vedic civilization is based on this point, how to get liberated and enjoy eternal happiness. That's what we're looking for, eternal happiness. We cannot keep gambling with our lives. So this verse recommends that Pipat Bhagavatam Rasam Alyam. Rasam Alyam, Alyam Laya. Laya means to merge. We are also merged in this material world, just like our body is material, but I am the soul, so you are the soul. I'm merged in this material body because I'm spirit. Although I'm merged, I'm not getting happiness. I'm not getting happiness from this body because it's a mismatch. We are in the material body, we are spiritual, we are in the material body, and we are in a material world. So how can we expect to get happiness? Right? It just doesn't fit. There's a mismatch here. And Srila Prabhupada explained, just like if you are put into the Atlantic Ocean, you merge, but because you're not the living entity of the water, without fish, shark, or dolphin or something, you cannot be happy in the water. That merging is there. So you have to merge in the spiritual existence, then you'll be happy. So that is Bhagavatam Rasam Alyam. So nice. So this verse is explained by Srila Prabhupada that this is how to go about it. We got to look for spirit. We got to spiritualize ourselves. We can spiritualize this body in this lifetime, and in this body, by connecting with spiritual, we can also become spiritual. So let's do the purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in the two previous shlokas, it has been definitely proved that the Srimad Bhagavatam is a sublime literature which surpasses all other Vedic scriptures due to its transcendental qualities. It is transcendental to all mundane activities and mundane knowledge. In the shloka, it is stated that Srimad Bhagavatam is not only a superior literature, but it is a ripened fruit of all Vedic literatures. In other words, it is a cream of Vedic knowledge. Considering all this, patient and submissive hearing is definitely essential. With great respect and attention, one should receive the message and lessons imparted by Srimad Bhagavatam. So we're at the beginning now, and Srila Prabhupada is saying, please, 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 listen submissively, with patience, with respect to Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's when you will, relish it at its best. The Vedas are compared to the desire tree because they contain all things noble by man. They deal with mundane necessities as well as spiritual realization. So there's everything in the Vedas because different people want different things. The Vedas contain regulative principles of knowledge covering social, political, religious, economic, military, medicinal, chemical, physical, metaphysical subject matter, and all that may be necessary to keep the body and soul together. And many dynasties, many countries even have taken advantage of the Vedas. They've had it translated by others and then use that. Even the many discoveries of the gravity and laws of motion, like that, they have discovered through the Vedas because all the information is there. Above and beyond all these are specific directions for spiritual realization. Regulative knowledge involves a gradual raising of the living entity to the spiritual platform. And the highest spiritual realization is knowledge that the personality of Godhead is a reservoir of all spiritual taste or rasas. That's the knowledge. That personality of Godhead is the reservoir of all spiritual taste and rasas. This is all the rasas are coming from the Lord himself. Everything's emanating from him, even the rasas emanating from him. Every living entity, beginning from Brahma, the firstborn living being within the material world, down to the insignificant ant, desire to relish some sort of taste. See, we need taste for the tongue, we need taste for the eyes, for the ears, for the mind, for the soul. We need taste. Without taste, life becomes unbearable. We all need taste. So derived from sense perceptions. These sensual pleasures are technically called rasas. Such rasas are of different varieties. In the revealed scriptures, the following 12 varieties of rasas are enumerated. So Krishna enjoys all these rasas himself, first of all. So Rudra, anger, rasa of anger, Adbhut, wonder, Shringar, conjugal love, Hasya, comedy, Veera, chivalry, Daya, mercy, Dasya, servitorship, Sakhya, fraternity, Bhyanak, Bhara, Vibhatas, shock, Shant, neutrality, Vasalya, and parenthood. Like that. The sum total of all these rasas is called affection or love. Primarily, such signs of love are manifested in adoration, service, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. And that's like, this is like four main. There's a fifth one, obviously Shantaras, and these four are the primary rasas, and the others added to it, love. The 12 are added to the five main ones, and they're mixed together. So, and when these five are absent, love is present directly, indirectly. So unless you go these five, very important that if you don't have friendship or adoration, service, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love, if you don't have these for whoever, but you have the other 12, then it becomes very dangerous. It becomes a very, very dangerous situation. So if love is present indirectly in anger, wonder, comedy, chivalry, fear, shock, and so on. For example, when a man is in love with a woman, the rasa is called conjugal love. But when such love affairs are disturbed, there may be wonder, anger, shock, or even horror. Sometimes love affairs between two persons culminate in ghastly murder scenes. Such rasas are displayed between man and woman and between animal and animal. So things can go wrong basically in the rasa. If something missing, then it causes problems. Emotions erupt. There is no possibility of an exchange of rasa between a man and an animal, or between a man and another species of living beings within the material world. So this is Prabhupada saying this. The rasas are exchanged between members of the same species. But as far as spirit souls are concerned, they are one qualitatively with the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the rasas were originally exchanged between the spiritual living being and the spiritual whole. That's the originality, soul and super soul. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the spiritual exchange of rasa is fully exhibited in spiritual existence between living beings and the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is therefore described in the Shruti mantras, Vedic hymns, as the fountainhead of all rasas. When one associates with the Supreme Lord, exchanges one's constitutional rasa with the Lord, then the living being is actually happy. And that is our goal, that is our Prayojana. We want to exchange our rasas with the Lord. That's what we have been doing in the spiritual world until we decided to make a move to the material world. Now we transmigrated to the material world, but before that we were exchanging rasas, and it could be any parental, conjugal love, servantship, dasya, servant, or could be just adoration from the distance. Could be any one of them, but that's what we were doing before. That is our constitutional position. But obviously now we are in a perverted situation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is therefore described in the Shruti mantras as the fountainhead of all rasas. When one associates with the Supreme Lord, exchanging one's constitutional rasa. So we have a constitutional rasa. We don't know which one. Thus we find out later when we mature in our bhakti. Then the living being is actually happy because we are lost at the moment. Jiva Jago, we are sleeping. These Shruti mantras indicate that every living being has its constitutional position, which is endowed with a particular type of rasa to be exchanged with the Personality of Godhead. In the liberated condition only, this primary rasa is experienced in full. In the material existence, the rasa is experienced in the perverted form. That's what's happening to us now. which is temporary. And thus the rasas of the material world are exhibited in the material form of anger and so on. So we're looking for the rasa. We need rasa. We're looking for it. But we're looking for, we're trying to find it with other people, and they are trying to find it with us. It just really doesn't work out. It's all very temporary and very temperamental as well. It doesn't always work. We make really great friends, and then it doesn't take long before that friendship breaks up, or we get fed up with each other, and all goes pear-shaped, right? So that can't, it doesn't last most of the time. It doesn't last. Therefore, one who attains full knowledge of these different rasas, which are the basic principles of activities, can understand the false representations of the original rasas, which are reflected in the material world. So material world is just a reflection of those, it's shadow. The learned scholar seeks to relish the real rasa in the spiritual form. In the beginning, he desires to become one with the Supreme. Thus, less intelligent transcendentalists cannot go beyond this conception of becoming one with the spirit whole without knowing of the different rasas. If you become one with the whole, then you can't really, there's no chance of having different rasas, right? Because you have to see Bhagwan as in the personal form to have rasas with him. In this shloka, it is definitely stated that spiritual rasa, which is relished even in the liberated stage, can be experienced in the literature of Srimad Bhagavatam due to its being the ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge. By submissively hearing this transcendental literature, one attains the full pleasure of his heart's desire. But one must be very careful to hear the message from the right source. Srimad Bhagavatam is exactly received from the right source. It was brought by Narada Muni from the spiritual world and given to his disciple Sri Vyasadeva. The latter in turn delivered the message to his son Srila Sukadeva Goswami, and Srila Sukadeva Goswami delivered the message to Maharaj Parikshit just 7 days before the king's death. So he delivered to Maharaj Parikshit, Suta Goswami heard it, Suta Goswami took it to the sages, and then we got to find out about it.
Okay.
So that's the disciplic succession. Srila Sukadeva Goswami was liberated soul from his very birth. He was liberated in the womb of his mother, and he did not undergo any sort of spiritual training after his birth. At birth, no one is qualified, neither in the mundane nor in the spiritual sense. But Sri Sukadeva Goswami, these are special people, due to his being a perfectly liberated soul, did not have to undergo an evolutionary process for spiritual realization. So they came ready-made. Right? They didn't have to be constructed like us. They came ready-made. Yet, despite his being a completely liberated soul person situated in the transposition of the three material modes, he was attracted to the transcendental rasa of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is adored by liberated souls who sing Vedic hymns. The Supreme Lord's pastimes are more attractive to liberated souls than to mundane people. We can't connect. This is the problem. He is of necessity, not impersonal, because it is only possible to carry on transcendental rasa with a person. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are narrated, and the narration is systematically depicted by Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Thus, the subject matter is appealing to all classes of persons, including those who seek liberation and those who seek to become one with the Supreme Whole. So in Sanskrit, the parrot is also known as shuka. When a ripened fruit is cut by the red beaks of such birds, its sweet flavor is enhanced. The Vedic fruit, which is mature and ripe in knowledge spoken through the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who is compared to the parrot, not for his ability to recite the Bhagavatam exactly as he heard it from his learned father, but for his ability to present the work in a manner that would appeal to all classes of men. And just in case any of you don't know, Sukadeva Goswami in the spiritual world is the parrot of Radharani. So he actually is a parrot. They sent the parrot to recite Srimad Bhagavatam. So it could be really sweeter than it is. Nobody else. Because it's already so sweet, they need somebody else, to enhance it. Only he could enhance it. Nobody else could enhance it. So he is actually a parrot. from the spiritual world. The subject matter is so present through the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami that any sincere listener that hears submissively can at once relish transcendental tastes, which are distinct from perverted tastes of material world. The ripened fruit is not dropped all of a sudden from the highest planet of Krishna Lok. Right? There you go. Here's the fruit, taste it. Rather, it has come down carefully to the chain of disciplic succession without change or disturbance. Foolish people who are not in the transcendental disciplic succession commit great blunders by trying to understand the highest transcendental rasa known as the ras dance without following in the footsteps of Sukadeva Goswami, who presents this fruit very carefully by stages of transcendental realization. So you have to increase by stage your transcendental realization as you read through the cantos, and then you go into the rastas, and then you relish it properly. One should be intelligent enough to know the position of Srimad Bhagavatam by considering personality like Sukadeva Goswami, who deals with the subject so carefully. This process of disciplic succession above school suggests that in the future, also Srimad Bhagavatam has to be understood from a person who is actually a representative of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. A professional man who makes a business out of reciting Bhagavatam illegally is certainly not a representative of Sukadeva Goswami. Such a man's business is only to earn his livelihood. Therefore, one should refrain from hearing the lectures of such professional men who are doing. Such men usually go to the most confidential part of the literature without undergoing the gradual process of understanding this grave subject. They usually plunge into the subject matter of the ras dance, which is misunderstood by the foolish class of men. Some of them take it to be amoral, while others, so we're committing offenses in our prayers if we are thinking like that. While others try to cover it up by their own stupid interpretations, they have no desire to follow in the footsteps of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. And finally, one should conclude, therefore, that the serious student of the Ras should receive the message of Bhagavatam in the chain of disciplic succession from Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who describes the Bhagavatam from its very beginning, and not whimsically to satisfy the mundaner who has very little knowledge in transcendental science. Srimad Bhagavatam is so carefully presented that a sincere and serious person can once enjoy the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge simply by drinking the nectarian juice through the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami, who is bona fide representative. So very easy to miss that juice, very easy. You think, where is the juice? But it's there. We just have to have the right attitude to hear it and listen carefully, and you get that juice. Right, so we talk about Prayojana. So Prayojana is the result or goal, which is love of God, right? That's what we're looking for, achieved from the process. So as we discussed before, there's acharyas and deities for each stage. So the acharya for this Prayojana is Raghunath Das, and the deities are Radha Gopinath. And there's a prayer. So this is all the prayer is like before we were talking about please help me not so I don't commit offenses and about our relationship with Krishna. And now we're saying my life is useless without love of God, achieved from the process. The Acharya is my life is useless without love of God. Therefore, I pray that you accept me as your servant and give me the salary of ecstatic love of God. This is what we want. That's our goal. And this is what we pray for. I pray that you accept me as your servant. And then as a servant, give me the salary of ecstatic love of God. That's the mood we should be serving in when we're doing devotional service or when we are chanting. When we're in love with Krishna, we want to hear more and more about him. So that is indication. So if you want to hear more and more about Krishna, then you Yes, you begin to love him. We want to drink the nectar through our ears. So, we drink through our eyes, through our ears. Everything we are taking in, we are eating and drinking. So just we were talking about the rasa between animals and animal and humans. So there's rasa in the material world, but it's perverted forms which are rasa and limited. Rasa is only possible in the same species. That's what we're saying. So humans with humans and animals with animals. Or some people may not agree. They think, oh, I love my dog or my cat or hamster, whatever they have. But it's mentioned here. For example, it's difficult to have a laughter. So rasa of laughter, rasa between human. It's difficult to have a laughter rasa between human and animal. Animal does something funny, and you may laugh, but rasa is two-way. So we're talking about two-way rasa. You cannot have laughter exchange with a dog. For example, you make a funny face to a dog, he may not laugh. And then it's mentioned about the dasiras, humans can have, but dog and owner not. So the owner is considered the master, and the dog, his master's voice, or nowadays they call it mom and dad, right? So, but humans can have, but dog and owner not. Dog is not completely submissive. Although we think he's a dog, he's a servant, we ask him to fetch this, fetch that, but he might do his own thing, right? So he stops for doing number one or number two. You see in the park every day. We'll also have to stop and wait while he's doing his thing. You're waiting. So how are you the master? You're waiting for him, and you may end up picking it up. Hopefully, it's number two. So now he's master, you're servant. Material rasa don't always work. So that's the reason they're saying that between animal and human doesn't always work, because there is no master and servant. It's like you exchanging. The dog might fetch your magazine or your glasses or your slippers, but then you are serving him. You're picking up his poo. Master will not pick up poo of his servant. So like that. So it's not possible to have a proper exchange. And I wanted to talk about the absolute truth, but I think we'll leave it here. Time is getting on, and I want to hear from everybody who's on. So thank you all for joining. Thank you to my father Loji as well. And I think we have Pata Prabhu. Pata Prabhu, let's hear from you and welcome back. Hare Bo.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I joined a little late today. So can hear from other devotees, then I can come back, Prabhuji. Please.
Not a problem, not a problem. I'd like to hear from Kiran Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. I'm happy for others to go. However, if you want me to, I'm quite happy to start. I think, this 3 verses sets the path, the pattern, and the journey ahead. And, all our lives, in our previous lives, Prabhu, you mentioned a good word. We've been gambling. We've been gambling with our lives. We've been gambling with our journey. We've been gambling with the material world. Stop gambling, because Krishna's shown you the real hand. The real hand is in the Vedas, the Bhagavatam, and this distilled version that the Goswamis and the other Acharyas have put together. Let's not gamble, because this is the absolute truth. The absolute truth will take us to the absolute real goal. It'll take us back to Godhead. And we need to relish this ripened fruit. And if we don't, you will regret it at your peril. Because if you can't see the difference between a mango and a peanut, then you've gambled between a good quality fruit and something which is obviously has contained protein, etc. However, You know, this is the Bhagavatam, and these verses are the distillation of the ultimate wisdom and knowledge. And hence, you know, Ved Vyasa and then Sukadev Goswami, his son, recited these absolute sublime verses, and it's culminated in you know, this most powerful of all Vedic literatures. This is the realization of the sages. If the sages could understand it and if they could explain it, why can't we, who have been given this opportunity? This is the opportunity of becoming detached from Maya, from the illusion of this world that we live in. Our cars, our homes, our families, they will give us some happiness, but they will not give us the happiness that the Lord has promised us. Let's seek that shelter. It clearly talks of seeking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. And we need to read this again and again. And hence it's like, what do you call it? You know, when you go to a sugarcane person who makes it or he distills it, he has to crush that pulp again and again. And hence we have to go through this churning time and time again to get the mellow. The love and devotion will come, the joy and the absolute unconditional bridal love will come from this process. The transcendental process is there for all of us. This rasa cuts across all races, all cultures, all religions, all boundaries, and hence it is something which is for all of us. It does not discriminate. It is accessible for all of us. And it's clearly laid out in the first 3 verses that this is accessible and available for all of us. Let's not gamble with it. Let's take this hand that's been given to us. We've been dealt 4 aces. Let's play with those 4 aces. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhupada says don't gamble. Let's not gamble. Thank you so much. And I like that, yes, about sugarcane. Now, the beauty of this fruit is that you can squeeze it as much as you like. The juice never runs out. It's like unlimited juice. It all depends on our elevated consciousness, how elevated our consciousness is. According to that, we can squeeze the juice out of it. Thank you so much. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much. Very nice class and explanation. Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, I was just reflecting on rasa and how rasa is important to develop in our, is needed to develop our spiritual life. And that the real rasa can be derived from bhakti. It doesn't compare to anything, any type of rasa that we try to derive from the material world. And thinking about how any rasa in this world is temporary. It might start off sweet and nice at the beginning, but eventually it turns sour or it ends. It's not permanent. So we are looking for something eternal in a temporary world. That, you know, the rasa that we're trying to get out of this world, but with the rasa that we're trying to seek is we're just looking for it in the wrong place. It's pointless and fruitless really in the material world. We are, or should I say, I am simply wasting my time when I do that. So that rasa is, as we mentioned, you said about how Krishna in the verse, it's explained how the Supreme Personality of God, he is the reservoir of all spiritual tastes of all rasa. It comes from him. So, you know, our true position is that, you know, our position is that we need to redevelop that rasa with Krishna. Ultimately, that is that is the real the real rasa essentially that we're seeking. That was it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Praveen Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, very nicely summarized by Kiran Prabhu and Hina Mataji. Yeah, for me, the key point is the prayer by Rabindranath Das Goswami. My life is useless without love of God, and I want to be a servant, and the salary is ecstatic love of God. This is so beautiful prayer. So, yeah, and the glorification of Bhagavatam, it is the mature fruit, so we need to elevate ourselves to relish the nectar. And like we're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 9, about the branches, and we feel so fortunate that like we are part of, we are following this path. It explains the branches of like the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the trunk and the several branches. So we come up to the 47th branch, and it just makes you, realize how hard all these acharyas worked for us. And Srimad Bhagavatam, we are so fortunate, to have it in the disciplic succession. So, yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. And Lord Chaitanya, he introduced us to Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes.
And he wanted us to relish this. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, we're running out of time. Radhan, you want to say anything? Because I want to finish by 9 o'clock, and anybody who missed out, apologize. We can obviously do next time on Wednesday. We can have to hear your realizations.
Yeah, I just quickly want to say Hare Krishna first of all, everyone. That we are so fortunate, that we have been given such precise prayers by the Goswamis, what to pray for. They have even not just they have given us these beautiful scriptures in a simple form, in their simplicity for us to understand, but also they have given us the exact prayers, what to say. So as a jivas, we are not confused. At least in this life, we won't have to gamble if we are in the right place with the right frame of mind. And just to know that this nectar is to be heard, drunk through the ears, and this nectar is not going to satisfy. Unlike, you drink some juice, you get satiated and you don't want to drink anymore. But this one, we can drink day after day after day, and still there'll be room for it in our consciousness, in our system, that we can have more and more of it. Rather, I should say that the more we drink, the more we will want to have it. And that is Krishna Prem. So thank you very much.
Very nice. Yes. So you drink it, it nourishes you, nourishes your consciousness, and makes you stronger for taking in more. I think that would make sense. So I think we have a few minutes. Neeta Mataji, would you like to add something? Okay. Deepak Prabhu, I don't know if you're able to talk. I know you said you've been driving, but it's okay. We can finish here. It's okay. Okay. Unless anybody else has anything else, we can stop.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This was Bhagavatam is the rasa is I think it's for this privilege we've been given, and whenever you hear it, you're always eager to hear it. All the time, you learn new things, and I think to share it, we've been given the privilege to share it with people. I'm so honored that I'm joining a class which. And whenever I'm, it's like you say, the thirst is always there. And when we are saying that, I think sharing it, just hearing it, we hear all this beautiful connection. And the rasa gets, I think, the more we hear about it, our rasa gets stronger, or you get more little things you learn and get attached to and find the meanings. So I think the realization is like we've been given this beautiful scriptures, but and it's nice for us to share it. And if we have a teacher, it's even wonderful. I think And we've been given the privilege of sharing this through discipline succession, which is even better. So from Iskcon, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Srila Prabhupada did an amazing thing that he brought this out. He translated everything for the layman like me. There was one time that Srimad Bhagavatam was only allowed for the elite. It was not allowed for general population. And now it's available to everyone. And we are pushing it. Please take Bhagavad Gita. Please take Bhagavatam. At one time, only the elite had access to that. Other people were not allowed to study this. I remember when there's white-bodied Prabhu Brian. He used to be coming to our Birmingham, and then he showed me a copy of Bhagavad Gita that was like for the royal family. Like only the royals would get access to that, and nobody else knew about it. So yeah, we're very, very fortunate that we are connected to the disciplic succession. We have been accepted as part of the family, and everything is there for us. Any doubts we have, they can be cleared, and all the knowledge is there. The map is there how to go back home. We have given the torchlight into the darkness. So yeah, very, 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 very good to be in that situation. And I was also thinking that sometimes if Krishna sees that you're not ready for this, something can be right in front of you and you won't see it. It's because Krishna felt that we're ready for this. We're ready to take the information. We might have come across the Hare Krishnas before, right? Or things that might happen to us in the past that we just didn't, in the past lives, but we didn't take any notice of it. I mean, I had Bhagavad Gita like 20, 30 years ago. I didn't take any notice of it. I just looked the pictures, somebody gave it to me, and I put it away, right? And then I might have just gone from this world, just going up to there. And maybe in the past we've sort of done things. And like when you connect the dots, you think, oh, I had the Bhagavad Gita. I saw the Rath Yatra. I visited the temple of Hare Krishna. I was served prasad at the Rath Yatra. You look at all these things, and it's not that at the time we decided, yes, we will join them, but we've been through all these little processes here, there, and suddenly something happened. We got purified in some way, and Krishna says, now you're ready to come to join the disciplic succession. You're ready to commit to the mission. It may have happened. It may not have happened. It may not happen to some people. It may happen to some people. So, we're very fortunate that it did happen, that the dots actually connected, and they brought us to this situation. So thank you all so much. And we'll catch up again on Wednesday. Please join and take the opportunity, and let's, share together. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Swami. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.